Hey there, it's me Eden. If you are new to the channel, then please subscribe to my channel and visit my Patreon page for early access, link in the description.
Cynthia pulled out a double-layered charcoal gray skirt. This is the skirt I had in mind. She held the skirt in front of the skirt I was wearing. Hold this, she told me, handing me the skirt. And this is the top. She pulled out a black camisole. I just love this top, she told Mom. She then held it in front of me so Mom could see the top and skirt together. That is lovely, but a little more revealing than I like, Mom told Cynthia. I'm not thrilled with the way his tummy shows now. Mom tugged at my top. I didn't care about the clothes. Nevertheless, I did agree with Mom. I did not like how my stomach showed. I looked for Kevin. I wanted to shout at him, asshole. He was with his mom over by the denim skirts. Mrs. Harris was holding different skirts and tops up to him. They were talking, laughing, and joking around. Again, I felt like I was watching a mother and her daughter shopping. I heard Cynthia tell Mom, I understand, but that is all the rage with the young girls. Cynthia did not want to lose a sale. I think it is inappropriate for a 13-year-old girl to show her midriff, Mom stated. You're not the first mother to have that concern. The way to solve that problem is with an outer layer, a blouse. Cynthia moved to another rack as she spoke. She showed Mom a white blouse. This will also help her stay a little warmer. Mom took the blouse off the hanger and handed it to me. Lynn, put this on. I took the blouse. I realized I could not put the blouse on with the purse hanging from my shoulder. I handed Mom my purse and then slipped the blouse on. It looked like the white shirts I wore to church, except the buttons were backwards and the fabric was soft. Yes, that is much better. Mom handed me the purse back. Why don't you try these on while I go help Kevin with his selection? Cynthia stated. I don't need to, I blurted out. Yes, you do. Mom took the clothes from Cynthia. We went back to the changing room. Cynthia went to increase her sales for the night. Mom had me change the skirt. The second skirt felt different. It was softer and lighter. The skirt had an inner liner that felt slick against the pantyhose and caressed my thighs when I moved. After Mom made her adjustments, she had me look in the mirror. What do you think? She asked without waiting for a response. I think this is very pretty on you. I liked the feel of the skirt I had on, but preferred the look of the pleated skirt. I was not going to tell her. I shrugged my shoulder, whatever. You know you can be the horse's ass at times. What? She shrugged her shoulders, mocking me, whatever. She looked at me through the mirror. You need to learn to loosen up. I believe this activity is supposed to teach you more about life than just wearing a skirt. I could not believe what I was hearing. I need to loosen up. She's the one who is uptight. She is the one who cannot take a joke. I am happy-go-lucky compared to her. Do you think you look pretty? She asked again. The easiest way to get out of the conversation was to tell her what she wanted to hear. Yes, she raised her eyebrows. I tried to sound sincere without making myself sound like a sissy. I then looked around to see if anyone could hear me. Yes, I look pretty. Mom smiled and gave a loving squeeze to my shoulders. Go ahead and put your other top on. She held the blouse after I took it off. Then I pulled the red top off. I had to fix my bra, pull it back down, before putting the black top on. The black top looked terrible over the wide straps of the training bra. I could tell from the face Mom made she was not happy. Oh, that won't do at all. I was glad she said that. I was not keen on the idea of the entire school knowing that I was wearing a bra. I started to take the top off when Mom stopped me. She told me to wait, and then left the room. A minute later, I heard a knock. It was Kevin. I opened the door. He was wearing a denim miniskirt with pink camisole and a slightly darker pink blouse. I was amazed at his appearance. He was looking like a girl. You done? I asked. Almost. I didn't think our moms would be so enthused about shopping for a dress. He told me. I shook my head in disbelief. Tell me about it. Oh, you do look pretty. He winked at me and smiled. He had heard me. Fuck you. Kevin, sweetie, what do you think of this top? Mrs. Harris asked. Kevin rolled his eyes before turning. He looked at what his mother was holding and smiled. I like that. I thought his response and tone was a little too quick and a little too sincere. Kevin stood with his hands on his hips just like a girl. Mrs. Harris stepped up to Kevin. Lynn, she hesitated, that is beautiful skirt. Mom came back. We're in luck. I was able to trade the yellow bra and panty for a black set. Mom showed Mrs. Harris the black bra. Mrs. Harris looked at Mom. Oh my, by the way she was looking at Mom and her tone, I thought her statement was actually a question. Yes, Mom said. Don't you think he will look darling? The two women grinned. Kevin, I'll be right back, Mrs. Harris stated. Lynn, you better put your other top back on. Mom told me as she gathered up my clothes. I wondered what was going on. Cynthia came to the door just as I was pulling the red top on. So, how are we doing? We'll take these. However, I'm not sure about the belt and purse. Do you have them in black? Yes, I'll get them for you. She was being very helpful. Cynthia returned shortly with a black belt and purse. Mom had me change my skirt before putting the belt on. I like the black better. What do you think, Lynn? The black is fine. I felt it necessary to elaborate for my own good. I like how the black goes with the gray skirt better. They both go with the skirt. I could see Mom was delighted with my response. Mom opened the door and asked Cynthia, is it okay if he wears the outfit out? We still need to buy shoes, nail polish, and maybe lipstick. That is fine. I can deactivate the security with the wand. I stepped back into the changing room, Mom. I can't wear this around the mall. Lynn, you have been wearing it around the mall. She was right. But not out there. I stated. Would you prefer to try girls' shoes on and have a sales lady put makeup on you while wearing your jeans looking like a boy? I could hear the unstated. Don't be stupid. I stumped my foot down. I don't need all that. I could not believe I stumped my foot like a little kid. Mom looked a little shocked. Now you're acting like a little baby. Mom, please. Lynn, think of this as your dress rehearsal. This is how you're going to school tomorrow. She took that motherly tone. I know what is best. Then I heard Mrs. Harris, you won't be alone. Kevin will be with you. Mom looked at me, tilted her head slightly and gestured. See, you have nothing to worry about. Cynthia chimed in, you two are so pretty. There is no reason for you to be embarrassed. See, now let's get going. We don't have all night. Mom handed the clothes we were buying to Cynthia. Then she gathered up my old clothes. Cynthia folded the clothes over her arm. The blouses are 2 for 1. You still get a second blouse. I would suggest the red. Both Kevin and I had to wear our old sneakers with our new outfits. We looked comical wearing old skateboarding shoes with skirts. While Mom and Mrs. Harris paid for the purchases, I positioned myself behind a rack out of view. Kevin stood in the open wanting to talk. He acted as if nothing was different. In a way, I wished I had his attitude, his self-confidence. Mom handed me the bag. Kevin and I followed our moms to the shoe store. Luckily, it was just one store down and no one was around. Once there, Mom had to look at every shoe. The sales lady was older and foreign. She had one of those red dots on her forehead. She did not say anything or ask any questions, like why boys are wearing dresses. She looked at me in an odd, disapproving way. I felt uncomfortable. I wanted to hurry the process. Mom wanted to ensure the shoes fit well and were comfortable. I kept looking at the sale lady while Mom asked her questions. How do they fit? Are they comfortable? Do you like them? I did not want to answer that question with the sales lady staring at me, but I also did not want to make a scene. They feel good. I ended up getting a simple low-heel black patent leather pump. Kevin picked out a pair of pink and white tennis shoes. We each wore our shoes out. I followed close behind Mom, using her as a screen to hide behind, as we walked to the next store. Mom and Mrs. Harris talked about what makeup would look best on us. I heard Mom say to Mrs. Harris, "Too bad Lynn's ears aren't pierced." Then the two talked about jewelry. I had the urge to act out, to remind Mom I was her son, not her daughter. However, I did not want to do anything that would bring attention to me. I thought Kevin was window shopping as we walked. As we rode the escalator up, I felt on display. Kevin looked at the nightgowns on the racks below. At first, I thought it was good that the cosmetic counter was near the store entrance. Then I realized I could see down the entire mall. Anyone walking the mall could see me. Two very beautiful women stood talking next to some stools. The older salesgirl was well-tanned and had shoulder-length black hair. The younger had paler skin and long blonde hair. Neither was shy with us. "What do we have here?" the older asked. I turned red. I could see the statement even made Kevin uncomfortable. So what are your daughters' names? The younger asked. I heard the emphasis on daughters. These are our sons, Mom stated. Again, she did not make any effort to explain why we were dressed the way we were. He needs lipstick and nail polish to go with his new outfit. Mom put her hand on my back to move me forward. And maybe a light eyeliner, Mrs. Harris stated. The older saleslady went into her sales pitch. They are both very lovely. I have several nice shades of dark pink, almost a fuchsia. They would go nicely with her, his top. She motioned for Mom to follow. We went to the other end of the counter. She had me sit on a stool. I saw Mom shake her head in that disapproving way. She then whispered in my ear, "Cross your legs, dear." I did not see what was wrong with the way I was sitting. It was how I always sat. However, to avoid a public argument, I did as Mom requested. I crossed my legs and straightened my skirt. The salesgirl smiled. That's better, she said, then winked at me. Which would you like to see first? She asked me, holding up 3 tubes of lipstick. I looked at Mom. She was no help. Pick what you would like, dear. I looked back at the tubes. It did not really matter to me. I did not want lipstick. I wondered why Mom thought I needed lipstick. It struck me that they thought I was trying to choose the correct lipstick, the lipstick I desired, not pondering the need for lipstick. I quickly picked the center tube. That's the color I would have chosen, the salesgirl said. She then looked at Mom. Your son has good taste, an eye for fashion. Lynn, I heard a familiar voice. We all looked over to the 2 girls standing next to Mom. Sue said it was you. Gail stated. I was stunned. Hi. Wow, is that what you were wearing tomorrow? Sue asked. Who are your young friends? Mom asked, giving Sue and Gail the once-over. Mom, this is Gail and Sue. I usually avoided mentioning girls' names around Mom. She has a tendency to get goofy, asking a lot of dumb questions. Hi, it is nice to meet you. Mom turned on the charm. If he had given me more time, we could have done more. This will have to do for the last minute. Lynn, you look pretty, Sue stated. Yeah, you do, Gail added. It was a confusing moment. I was embarrassed to be seen. I was glad that they did not laugh, but thought I looked pretty. I also felt the need to redeem myself. Kevin is here. He's over there, the one wearing the miniskirt. The girls looked in the direction I motioned.
Please subscribe my channel for the next part. And visit my Patreon page for early access.